The absence of a widespread revolution in Britain in 1848 can be attributed to several key factors, including its unique political and economic circumstances, prior political reforms, and effective government responses to social and economic unrest. Firstly, it's important to understand the broader European context of 1848. The year 1848 was marked by a wave of revolutions that swept across Europe, often referred to as the Spring of Nations or the 1848 revolutions. These revolutions were driven by a combination of factors, including economic hardships, political repression, and demands for greater democracy and national independence. However, each country faced its own set of circumstances and challenges, which influenced the outcomes. In the case of Britain, several factors contributed to the absence of revolutionary upheaval. 1. Political reform. Britain had already experienced significant political reforms in the early 19th century, particularly with the Reform Act of 1832. This legislation expanded the electorate, granting voting rights to a larger portion of the male population. As a result, some of the grievances that fueled revolutionary movements in other countries, such as a lack of political representation, were already being addressed in Britain. 2. Economic stability. Unlike many European countries, Britain's economy was relatively stable in the 1840s. The Industrial Revolution had already transformed the country into the world's leading industrial and economic power. This economic prosperity helped mitigate some of the social and economic tensions that were driving revolutions elsewhere. 3. Strong institutions. Britain had a well-established and stable constitutional monarchy. The monarchy, while retaining symbolic power, had seen its political influence diminish over time. With real power resting in the hands of Parliament, the British political system was flexible enough to accommodate gradual reforms and avoid the need for a revolutionary overhaul. 4. Effective government response. The British government, under the leadership of Prime Minister Sir Robert Peel, responded effectively to social and economic challenges. For example, when a series of crop failures in the late 1840s led to food shortages and rising prices, the government took measures to provide relief and prevent mass starvation. This proactive response helped diffuse potential sources of discontent. 5. Political leadership. The leadership in Britain was generally more pragmatic and willing to compromise than in some other European countries. Political elites in Britain recognized the need for gradual reform to maintain stability and prevent revolutionary upheaval. 6. Lack of unity among radicals. The radical reform movement in Britain was divided and lacked the cohesion seen in some other revolutionary movements. This lack of unity made it more difficult for radicals to mobilize a broad-based revolutionary movement. 7. British exceptionalism. Some historians argue that Britain's historical development and unique path to constitutional monarchy and parliamentary democracy made it less susceptible to revolutionary fervor compared to continental Europe.